So guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm out in the woods today. It's an absolutely beautiful afternoon and the weather's been so dry recently that we've got a lot of leaves lying down. So I'm just looking down here at this composition with the trees down here lining each side. Obviously you can see Big Dog's with me again today, so he's enjoying himself. When you're shooting forest scenes like this, sometimes it's good to focus stack so that you get the leaves that are down on the foreground all the way to the distance in focus. So what I'm going to do is just have a quick play around with the focus on the Sony system. I'll just show you how I've set it up and the photo that I've taken, just in case you're not familiar with using that mode on the latest range of cameras. I'm using the A7CR here today, and that's obviously got it built in. So we'll take a quick look. First thing you need is to make sure that the camera's in autofocus mode. So that's the scene that I've set up on my little tripod here. So that's the composition that I've taken. So I wanted to try and get a few leaves in the foreground and then have it all in focus right the way back to there and try and get the trees leading in either side. So down on the camera, that's what it's looking like. I've got the ISO set to 100 as I've got it on the tripod, even though the light's a little bit low in here, and I've got my shutter speed at the moment about 1/20th of a second. I've done it in 5.6 because it's just taking lots of shots which I'll blend together afterwards. So I've got it set up on the function button here, and then it goes down to the drive mode settings. Obviously loads of settings in here. Normally you'd be on the single shooting. But we're going to bring it down to where it says focus bracket, and we're going to select that. When we go back into it again, we can see down on this side the number of shots that we want to take and the distance each time. So I've set it at 39 here because I found it was needing a few more shots than it obviously was on here. So once that's set up, we're going to put the focus, which I've got it in manual single, so focus down the bottom here for my first element. I might even try and put something in the foreground here to give it a little bit more context. And then once that's set up, we can just hit the shutter button, and that's going to go off and take as many shots as it needs to focus stack all the way from the foreground and then all the way out to the distance right down there. My very patient dog waiting for me. So that's it, and if we go back into the play, it puts it into a folder for you on here. So if we select the center button and go in, we can then use the scroll wheel, and we should find then as we roll it, we should see the focus go all the way from the front to the back. And if it doesn't go all the way, you might find you need to add a few more shots into it. So what I've done now is I've just put this stick. I'm trying to stop the dog from picking it up. Go over that way. And then when we look back into the camera, we should find that it's quite a nice foreground element that just leads it through the photo. So I'm just going to set that going once again with the shots. Yes, I know, we're going to go walking in a minute. Have the stick. So that's pretty much done that one. What I'm going to do is just come back to the function button, set the focus bracket back to single shooting mode, and then I'm just going to position the autofocus onto the back and just take one picture at the back. So I definitely have got one right at the distance in focus. So that's it. So that's the focus bracketing on the Sony. So hopefully once we get back into the editing suite, have a look at how to process that and see what sort of image that produces, and the focus right from the foreground all the way through to the background in this forest scene. It's a really lovely time of year with the once the leaves come down. It's just starting to get a little bit of sun. It's been quite misty today. I haven't been out as yet. But if you can get the sun shining through the woods, you can get some quite nice effects there. Let's have a little look just in case there is a composition that way. Then looking right out in the distance there to the Needles. So there's a nice bit of fern up there, so we're just going to go and take a look if I can get up here. Go on, dog, up you go. Oh, he's 9.5, he makes it look easy. It's actually been such a great year for woodland photography because it's been so dry. There's been no wind to blow the trees off, so they seem to have come down, just settled, and without the rain they seem to have just be laying here, which gives such great leaves like this, where you can set them up in your foreground and then put a lovely backdrop behind them, and it gives quite a nice composition. I managed to get a couple up in London, which I'll put on the screen now. These are just shot on the iPhone, but they came out okay. Sometimes you just need to come off of the main tracks, head off into the woods and just try and find a few trees with a bit of symmetry, which is a little bit harder in these type of woods. Some of the woods that have been replanted have a bit more symmetry to them, so you can get some really nice shots with them. Have you found your next composition bit, have you, Copes? Come on in. Do you really need a stick that big? Do you? Can you find a smaller one? Go on then. You go first. Go on. This is starting to look a bit more like we might get something in here, a bit more colour with the oranges. So part of the fun of all this is just having a wander around, enjoying the countryside, and then just trying to pick out a nice scene if you can see it. So there's a nice one again up here with a path running out. So we'll have a look, see if we can get something out of this one. Very similar to the last composition. Okay, so I've just been wandering around for a little bit, just trying to find some compositions. I just found this one up here, which is quite nice. You can see it through here. It sort of runs up through the middle here, and there's a bit of light at the end, which sort of leads your eye through. And then the pathway with the orange, which hopefully in post will be able to bring out the orange a little bit more. So I'm just going to set the camera up here and just have another go at doing a bit of a focus stack through there, and just make the most of the light while we still got it. So just gone for quite a low angle, looking up here again. I think it's quite nice if you can keep the camera low, then you can get the leaves sort of at the bottom third of the frame, which I think looks really cool as it goes up the pathway there. Again, trying to get this even on f11, it's just not going to get the full subject and get the leaves in the foreground. So I might take a shot and then I'll just have a little scout around, see if I can find something to put in the foreground of it, another stick, or doesn't seem to be many big leaves around. They all tend to be quite small ones here, so in the distance they're not going to be massively visible or stand out, unfortunately. So I'm just going to set this up and take another quick shot before we lose the sun. So if you can see this, that's basically my view through just the middle here. So it's a bit of reflection on the screen, isn't there? There you go. So you can see just at the bottom here, I've got the leaves, which then sort of lead you through to the light, which I can crop a bit on there. But that's set at 200 millimeters at the moment. I suppose I could zoom it out just a little bit. Probably my last little composition. It's a shame because I've got to get back, but there's some light just starting to come through here, giving some nice shadows in this direction, which possibly get a sunburst once this drops a little bit. If you're unsure how to get that, usually around about a high f-stop, f20, f22, something like that, will give you that nice lens flare on it. So I'm just going to take one last shot, just running down here. I could take it from a slightly higher angle, just so that I get more of a high level scene as it's running down the slope. I can see it better than going at a really low angle. if you haven't checked out the latest tripod from Yolanzi, the Tree Root, I thoroughly recommend it. It's just such an easy tripod to undo. Just a couple of little clicks and the thing just pops open, which is other ones I've used in the past with the screw locks have been a bit of a pain. And I started using the Falcam system on here, which just makes life so easy for interchangeable between the various brackets, etc. And they just so I should have brought my glasses today because I can't see a great deal. So I'm just tweaking the lens. So that is around about probably 90mm. Let's take it right out to 70 on there. And then maybe we could, shouldn't say it, but do a little bit of a crop afterwards. Just going to set that. So I've got ISO 100, it's on the tripod, 1/60 of a second, so it doesn't blow the highlights out. And I might just do one in manual focus. I like doing manual focus because you get the bit of the scene in that you want. And then I'm just going to do a focus bracket on it as well. So back into autofocus, then I have to function, change the drive mode back to the focus bracket, position the focus point to not quite the bottom, just going to go a third of the way in this time. That's at 180 of a second. That's ISO 400 on that. Let's go 100. And off we go. It should. So there, even though I've got 39 shots set up on there, it probably used about 10, I think there. So that's all it felt it needed all the way through. Whereas if you've got it lower and you've got leaves in the right in the foreground, then it's going to take more shots on there. Pretty much what I've so the camera picks up. That's pretty much what I've gone for. Just set up a little bit of a stage composition here. I've got a leaf with that in the background. I just thought I'd test it out. It's a little bit, I just need to move that back so I've got a bit of light on it, which I know is a bit cheating. As I said earlier, we've just got the light coming through the trees. So I've got the stalk. Hopefully the dog will stay out of the picture for a moment. So that's my composition there, with leading through to the end. So I've just got the stalk coming in, leading in to the leaf, and then out again. And then I've set this up with. Move out the way. Go on, move. Go that way. So we've got it on focus bracket. Can't read it without my glasses, but I think it's 1/10 of a second. Got a little bit of blowout at the top there with the histogram. But the histogram saying it's fine, but the forget the name of them now. The zebras are just showing a little bit of blowout where I've got that set. So you'll notice this time when I press it, it's going to take a lot more shots because it's got to go from here, take lots of shots all the way through, and then it will take a few less as it gets further. So I lost count there, but there was quite a few. And then when we look into there, it should then focus all the way from the front to the back. So I enjoyed the short woodland walk with me today, taking a few photos, and I hope you found the use of the photo stack on the Sony camera useful. I was planning today to take you through the editing process, but the video's gone a little bit too long now, so what I'll do is I'll do a follow-up video and just show you how I edited the photo stack photos from the Sony camera in Lightroom and Photoshop. So be sure to subscribe, follow along, and I'll see you in the next video.